Okay, so in this video we're looking at some more complex versions of rationalizing the denominator. So I've got a total of 6 examples. I've got 4, I say more straightforward ones, but 4 where you're not having to worry when to simplify the third, and 2 where we're going to look at benefits of simplifying at the start and benefits of simplifying at the end. So let's just jump straight to it then. So the first one then, we have root 3 over root 5. So remember, we want to multiply it by the third that is on the bottom. So multiply top and bottom by root 5. So on the top then, I'm going to do that 3 times 5. So I'm now going to have root 15 on the top. And then remember, a third multiplied by itself gets rid of that root sign. So root 5 times root 5 is just 5. So let's look at the next one then. So again, I've got another root 5 on the bottom here. So multiplying the top and the bottom by root 5. Actually, no, let's change it. I don't want to do another one with root 5 on the bottom. Let's do 3. So going to multiply the top and the bottom by root 3. So on the top there, because I'm going to do that 16 times 3, that is going to be 18, over then root 3 times by root 3, that is just going to be 3. Now, you do need to be careful here. So we can see now on the top I've got root 18, and if we think about our list of square numbers, that 18 can be divided by one of our square numbers. I'm just going to go that far because I know I don't need anything else. Because if I did 18 divided by 2, that will give me 9. And that is one of my square numbers, so I can simplify it. So it'll be root 9, root 2, because 9 times 2. And as you can see, I'm starting to skip some of the steps of our layout, and as you get quicker and quicker, you'll be able to do this as well. Then the square root of 9 is 3, so I'm going to have 3 root 2 over 3, and these are just going to cancel each other out because they're identical, so that'll just give me root 2 on its own. Because I think, just very quickly remember, that's going to be root 2 over 1, but I don't need that over 1 when it's on the bottom. Okay, next one. So this one can throw people a little. So the whole thing is under a square root sign, but nice little trick. I could just separate that square root sign out. And then I'm going to multiply that by the third that's on the bottom. So I'm going to multiply it by that root 6. So on the top there, that root 2 times 6. That's going to be 12 on the top. Then on the bottom, root 6 times root 6 is just going to be 6. And again, that root 12 I can simplify, because if I work my way through, 12 divided by 2 is 6. That doesn't work. 12 divided by 3 is 4. That does work. And so that's now going to be root 4 root 3, because 4 times 3 gives me 12. And the square root of 4 is 2. And then I can simplify these by dividing them both by 2 on the top and the bottom, because I've got even numbers. So that 2 divided by 2 is going to get rid of it. So on the top I'm going to have root 3 over 6 divided by 2 is just 3. Last one then. I'm just going to scoot this over just a little bit. So last one. So I've got 3 root 5 over 2 root 3. Again, the main thing is you only multiply them by the third that is on the bottom. So on the top there, that 3 is going to be left alone. And then I'm going to have this root 5 times root 3. So it's going to be root 5 times 3, which is 15, over. And then again, that 2 is just going to be sat at the front. And then I've got root 3 times root 3, which will just get rid of the square root sign. So it'll just be 3. And as we can see here, we've got 3 on the top and the bottom, so we can just cancel those out. So now I'm going to have root 15 over 2. Okay, so these are ones where we had simplification only happening towards the end of our question. Now, sometimes you might have the opportunity to simplify at the start. And what I'm going to do for both these questions, I'm going to do simplifying at the very beginning and then simplifying at the end. And sadly, there is no dead straightforward what one is better to do. And you'll see why in a second with these. So this first one here, start off with, I'm going to simplify at the beginning. So I think of my list, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 42, 64, 81, 100. So 45 divided by 2 is a decimal, that's not going to work. 45 divided by 3 is 15, that doesn't work. 45 divided by 5 is 9, so that does work. So that's what I'm working with. So I'm going to have 3 over, and then it'll be root 9, root 5, because remember 9 times 5 is 45. So it's going to be 3 over 3 root 5, because the square root of 9 is 3. Then I can get rid of these 3's there. So now I'll have 1 over root 5. And now I'm going to rationalize the denominator. So multiplying the top and the bottom by root 5. So I'm just going to have root 5 on the top and then just 5 on the bottom. So that's what it comes out to when I simplify at the beginning. Let's take a look at what to do if we simplified towards the end, and you'll see how in this question it's a little bit trickier. So I'm just going to write out that 3 over root 45 again. So I would multiply the top and the bottom by root 45. So I've now got 3 times, even 3 root 45 over 45. And you can simplify at this point here if you fancied. I'm actually going to just simplify my fraction until the very end. So then simplifying that 45 on the top, as we found out before, that would just be root 9 root 5. Then the square root of 9 is 3. And then that will be 9 root 5 over 45. And then I can divide both the top and the bottom by 9. So that'll give me root 5 over 5. So you can see how there's a bit more steps there. There's more work for me to do. However, in this next one, you'll see that simplifying at the end is actually the better option. So let's take a look. So first, I'm going to simplify at the beginning. So I've got 4 over 4 root 3. And then that 12 divided by 2 gives me 6. Nope. 12 divided by 3 is 4. That works. So I'm going to have root 4 root 3. That wasn't part of my plan when I did this question. I'm just going to very quickly be cheeky, and I'm just going to change the top there, because that wasn't my original plan. Let's do 5. I know that works. for what I want to do. There we are. So, there we go. I've got, no, that does not work. Right. I'm just going to finish this question off, and I backfired on myself a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll just continue working through it, and because this video is already getting long enough. So, I've got 4 root 5 over sorry, I've just now suddenly lost it. Square root of 4 is 2, and I'm going to have that root 3 on the bottom. Multiplying the top and the bottom by the third underneath. So that's going to be 4, and then that root 5 times root 3, so 5 times 3 is going to give me 15. Then the bottom, I've got that root 3 times root 3, and that is just going to be 3. Then I can divide the top and the bottom by 2 because I've got even numbers there. So that's going to go, but on the top, 4 divided by 2 is 2, root 15 over 3. And actually in this case, because I messed up with my numbers, with my planning on this one, this is actually easier at the start. It's not always the case. Sometimes you do have to do a double simplification. That was my plan, but it backfired. You will find in the last part of the questions I'll set, you will have to do a bit of double simplification. But good luck with the work, and let me know if there are any issues.